Hey there. Hope this video finds you and the people you care about uh, richly blessed by God's presence this week. Before we dive into Psalm 15, I want to throw out a question, kind of a pondering. It's probably an assumption on my behalf, but I think it's safe to say that we've all had things in our life that we've put a little extra time in preparing for. You know, the wedding day, right? Where we just poured so much time and effort into the planning of the celebration between husband and wife. I think of even the simple thing of going to the dentist. You maybe brush a little bit more. You do the extra mouthwash, get between those teeth with dental floss. Maybe for the first time, really tenderize those gums for the hygienist. I think back even into my childhood, the first day of school. You get the supplies, the new backpack. Who could forget the metal lunch boxes with the leaky thermos inside? Those were fantastic. But there's lots of things in our life that we spend time preparing for. In the simple things of going to the grocery store, because who wants to come home with 17 bags of potato chips? So you look at the ads, you see where the deals are, you clip out the coupons, you make the list of all the necessary items that you need to get you through your cooking needs, your meal needs for the week, or maybe even beyond. But what about church? I'm a pastor. Let's talk about church. What do you do to prepare yourself for church? And I'm thinking more specifically about the idea of coming together for corporate worship. What are the preparations that you put forth in preparing yourself for coming to church to worship the one true God? Maybe pick out your special outfit for that day. Make sure you throw an iron on those clothes, or depending on what life stage you're in, maybe you do the sniff test on your outfit. Make sure it's able to pass the doors of the church. You spend a little time manicuring yourself, painting your face, doing other hygiene type needs. But what do you do anything for your heart? King David in Psalm 15 paints for us really a picture of what it takes to enter into the presence of God. So join me in Psalm 15. I'll start in verse 1. Lord, who may dwell in your sanctuary? Who may live on the holy hill? He whose walk is blameless and who does what is right, who speaks the truth from his heart and has no slander on his tongue, and casts no slur on his fellow men, who despises a vile man, but honors those who fear the Lord, who keeps his oath, even when it hurts, who lends his money without usury, and does not accept a bribe against the innocent. He who does these things will never be shaken. And we begin our setting by going back to verse 1. We see the question posed to God by King David. Who may dwell in your sanctuary? Who may live on your holy hill? And for those of us who have traveled around, we've gone to foreign lands. One of the things we do before we are able to enter those lands on vacation or missions or whatever it is that brings you to those other locations is you get approval. You stop by, you get your visa, you either maybe even do it before you leave. And so you get the visa, you get the approval to enter into the land, to see the sights, to proclaim the good news of Jesus Christ. For whatever reason that brings you to those foreign lands, you see the people of authority. And so here we see God in his generous grace, in his complete authority. He is giving us, in essence, a spiritual visa to enter into a land that we do not belong, to enter into his presence, to enter into the presence of God, a place that we are unworthy to enter, but he has torn down that dividing wall. He has torn down the veil through the work of Jesus Christ that separated us, that created a barrier between he and us. And he tore that down to make way in his generous grace so that we could enter into the promised land, his presence. And then over the next several verses, King David paints for us 11 examples, 11 answers for the foundation that are foundational to the answering of the questions posed in verse 1. He mentions things like walking blameless, doing what is right, speaking the truth, do not slander, don't do wrong to your neighbor, cast no slur, Despise the vile man. Honor those who fear the Lord. Keep your oaths. When you're lending money, don't overcharge. Don't accept bribes. And he paints for us really a lifestyle, a style of living that prepares one for living in the presence of God. So as you think of the things that you have, that you, as you put the necessary time, as you put the necessary time into preparing for things, special events in your life, wonderful things like vacations, things like play dates, going out and experiencing God's amazing creation, things like even just the joy of shopping. As you put the time in to prepare for those things, I invite you to put the necessary time needed to worship the one true God, the God who invites us into his amazing presence. God bless you all and have a great week.